Dun 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 dun. Dee-di-dee-di-dum. They once said Raditz was a prophet. Dum 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 dum. Hey guys, DB right here, and today I am starting with a brand new what if idea. I saw this in the comments just yesterday and thought this would be a really fun story, especially if it's told right, if it's done a certain way that I think can be very entertaining, as well as well, just a lot of fun in general. And I think this is one you guys, my subscribers, will really enjoy, and that is, what if Raditz could see the future? And, well, with a bit of thought, now, at first it was all, okay, how is this gonna work? How can we make sure that Raditz can see the future? And as we know, the Kanassan race from the Bardock TV special are a civilization who can indeed see the future as well as read minds. And, well, as we know from the Bardock TV special, Bardock attained that gift. So really, we just had to basically switch Raditz and Bardock's jobs around. And, well, that's what happened. Instead of sending Bardock and his crew to conquer Kanassa, Frieza, well, just decides, since Raditz, Nappa and Vegeta's squad performs more or less on the same level as Bardock's, it was more or less, why don't we just send Prince Vegeta to tackle Kanassa? This could be his chance to really prove himself to the Empire. Now, Frieza does have plans to blow up Planet Vegeta, just like he always does. It's just the roles of Bardock and Raditz have been switched for this story. So, and well, just like Bardock did in the original, Raditz, Vegeta and Nappa are decimating the Kanassans in their Grade 8 forms. And this is, well, Raditz and Vegeta are still children. Well, Raditz is a really gifted Saiyan as well, and well, Raditz in his Grade 8 form is just as formidable as any Saiyan, and well, Nappa is Nappa. So yeah, the Kanassans did not stand a chance, and well, the following day, Vegeta and Nappa are all sitting down a campfire, enjoying the spoils, eating their kill. All that nasty stuff the Saiyans do. However, unlike Nappa, unlike Bardock and his crew, who pretty much have a quick enjoyment of the spoils and then just head off to their next job, Raditz, Nappa and Vegeta more or less like to take it easy.
When is Frieza gonna give me a real challenge? I am the Prince of all Saiyans. I surpassed my old man back when I was in diapers.
So really, Vegeta, Nappa and Raditz do more or less take things easy after a job well done. And well, this is when the last remaining Kanassan appears, and Dom goes, "I wish you baboons could have heard the thoughts of my soldiers as you massacred them." And he actually goes to attack Prince Vegeta, and Raditz puts himself in front of it. I know, not exactly your cautious moment like what Raditz is known for, but, you know, at this point it was basically, you know, protect the prince. If Prince Vegeta goes down here, Nappa and Raditz might have a hard time with this guy on their own. And well, Raditz is pretty much the most expendable out of them. So he takes the nasty hit from the Kanassan and gets his psychic abilities transferred to him. So we now have Raditz the Prophet instead of Bardock the Prophet. And well, after Raditz fired a key blast and finished off the last remaining Kanassan, they go back to enjoying the spoils, and well, Raditz suddenly passed out. However, Nappa and Vegeta didn't really think much of it, just due to the fact that, well, Raditz did just eat quite a big meal, so perhaps it was a food coma? Well, however, meanwhile, Bardock and his crew are doing the job that Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz were originally meant to take on together. You know, the one that we see briefly in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie and the Dragon Ball Minus manga? Yeah, that job. It's just that instead, it's Bardock and his crew, and well, due to their teamwork, they're giving the inhabitants of that planet just as much of a headache as Nappa, Vegeta, and Raditz would have. And well, Raditz is suddenly having these horrible nightmares back on Kanassa. They are about planet Vegeta being blown up, and he's seeing the image of Lord Frieza laughing as it's been done. And well, this dream just seemed so real. It was scaring Raditz beyond belief, and he also started seeing visions of Kakarot on some strange world where he's been sent to. And well, this has Raditz waking up in fear.
Frieza. How could he? He's gonna blow us away. What? Raditz, what are you talking about?
I saw it, Vegeta.
Whatever it was, Raditz, you're just having a nightmare.
No.
It felt more than just any nightmare. It felt real. I could still feel the energy on my face as our planet exploded. Frieza is going to destroy us.
And well, with that, Raditz just takes to his scouter, and he's trying to get hold of one of his parents. Any one of them, or pretty much any Saiyan that might be listening at this point. And well, by luck, Gine does hear the transmission, and she's conversing with her son.
Mother, you're okay. Is the planet all right?
Yes, Raditz, why wouldn't it be?
Because Frieza intends to blow it up. I saw it in a vision.
A vision?
Mom, please just listen to me. I'm telling you, at some point, Frieza is gonna come to the planet and blow it up. You need to get yourself and Kakarot out of there immediately.
And well, Gine just regains her composure and goes, "It's okay, son, I believe you. Don't worry. I will get Kakarot out of the nursing capsule and we will get out of here. You wouldn't lie about this." And well, that is true. Raditz has never once told a lie to his mother. And yeah, he wouldn't lie about something like this. Much like, you know, if it were Bardock in the same situation. Gine would believe her family. And well, with that, she actually does get Kakarot out of the nursing capsule, put him in his little Saiyan armor, and they both try to find themselves a space pod to steal. She does try to convince other people that this is going to happen, that Raditz has in fact said so, but no one's more or less going to believe that or listen to Raditz. You know, even Nappa and Vegeta don't really want to hear this.
You out of your mind, Raditz? You might have just gotten that whole planet into a panic. You are gonna have to explain this to Frieza.
Well, excuse me for trying to save our race. And well, with that, they pretty much go back to enjoying their spoils. Meanwhile, Raditz is trying to more or less get a hold of his father, Bardock. He can't get this vision out of his head that this is going to happen. However, he does start seeing another vision of Kakarot on some world, but however, another vision of Gine. So Raditz can at least feel some assurance that he at least managed to rescue his mother and brother from this, well, from this terrible fate that befalls them all. And, well, with, at this point, he does see yet another vision of Frieza blowing up planet Vegeta. This time, it is a lot more clear and precise. And that, you know, can tell Frieza is pretty much just relying on the Saiyans' loyalty here, that, yeah, they are going to obey this callback order, and with that, moments later, they do receive the callback order to return home. And, well, Raditz just tells Vegeta and Nappa, don't respond to it. Don't go there. What? But it's, Frieza's orders, Raditz. We gotta obey it. No, we don't. I'm telling you, Frieza only wants us all there so he can blow up the planet. Don't you think it's a bit odd he's asking for all Saiyans to return? Am I the only one making sense and thinking clear here? Huh. But this time, Vegeta actually does think this more or less through. Huh. You may actually be making sense this time. Very well, we will wait here. But Vegeta, Frieza will have kittens if we don't return. We don't follow his orders. Yeah, Nappa, but what if Raditz is right here? What if we're just all walking into a trap? And well, moments after that, Raditz does get an answer back from Bardock. Bardock has now finished his mission with his crew, and he's just wondering what his son wants. You know, it was hard to sort of put Raditz out of his mind while he was trying to conquer a mission and hearing Raditz's ranting that he couldn't really make out. After all, there were explosions going on all over Bardock, wiping out the race. And well, this is where Raditz has yet another vision, something a bit more of a closer threat to Bardock, and that is a sudden ambush of Dodoria and his men. And well, after receiving that vision, and Bardock going, "Kid, what do you want? You've been trying to reach me all day. I'm finally returning your message. What is it?" Don't tell me you're running and hiding again and scared of enemy soldiers.
No, father, it's not that. It's Dodoria. He's coming for you. He plans to attack you and wipe you out.
What? Dodoria? You serious? What makes you so sure?
Because I'm on Kanassa.
Kanassa? That was the job we were originally assigned to. What? Wait. You mean you attained some psychic power from those freaks?
Yes, father. And I've seen a lot. Frieza intends to wipe us all out, and he sent Dodoria to take you out. He's afraid of how strong we're gonna become. It has to be. Either that or he's afraid of the Super Saiyan legend.
And well, Bardock actually chooses to believe his son. There's no reason for Raditz to lie, and if he really is indeed on Kanassa, it's indeed very possible he's telling the truth. Alright, very well. I suggest you stay where we are. Once we deal with Dodoria and his men, I will contact you again. And well, Bardock fills in Fasha, Shugesh, Borgos, and Tora, the rest of his crew, of what's about to go down. That Dodoria is indeed on his way here. In fact, with them already dealt with the locals, there's no real surprise attack here. They do have their scouters on. They're ready to detect Dodoria should he actually show up, and Bardock has formed quite a bit of a nasty plan. And well, a couple of hours later, Dodoria and his men do indeed show up to take out Bardock and his crew, except no one's around. They can't see anyone within the rubble.
Huh. Those monkeys must be off hiding somewhere. I can detect their power levels, but I can't see them.
And well, suddenly out of nowhere, an energy ball is thrown up into the air. Bardock has thrown an energy ball up into the air, and well, Bardock and his crew have transformed into great apes. And well, just like that, their powers combined far exceed that of Dodoria and his henchmen, and they are wiped out on the spot. No warning. Dodoria has failed Frieza. And well, with that, after the energy ball more or less fades away and everyone reduces back to their normal state, Bardock does get back in touch with his son, and well, Bardock does believe that they should at least return home and come up with some sort of assault to deal with Frieza. And Raditz is feeling confident about that with his dad leading the charge, and Vegeta and Nappa are also in agreements, so Bardock and his crew are getting in their space pods, so are Raditz, Nappa and Vegeta, and they're all racing to planet Vegeta as fast as they can. They got to at least beat Frieza there. And well, with that, Bardock does question about whether or not Raditz has warned Gine and Kakarot, and well, yes, Raditz did assure Bardock that he did warn Gine and Kakarot, and that, well, they should more or less be off-world by now, and, well, yes they are. They did manage to steal a space pod, taking out a couple of hangar guards, and, yeah, they are racing to its intended destination at the moment, which was planet Earth. It just happened to be the space pod that was assigned to take Kakarot in anyway. And well, with that, our heroes in this story do indeed arrive home to planet Vegeta, and well, they do begin talking to everyone about how planet Vegeta is going to wipe out the home world. And well, this does seem very familiar to that, because Gine did try to warn them of that earlier, but they didn't listen to her. However, this coming from her husband, Bardock, who is a more respected Saiyan, and more or less his entire crew, and plus you got the Prince Vegeta Nappa, and Nappa, who was once the high commander of all the Saiyan military, telling them this, it actually is more conceived and believable, and more or less not coming from a crazy person like Bardock in the original. Ah! Frieza's coming! Ah! Frieza! Frieza! You know, it's not coming off like that. And, well, thanks to Raditz, everyone is gearing up to a big assault on Frieza. However, this is where Raditz is hit with another bit of foresight, and it's still a vision of the planet being blown up by Frieza. Nothing is changing. This assault is doomed to fail. And this is where Raditz pipes up Bardock, wondering, what's happening? I saw something. This assault is doomed to fail, Father. It doesn't matter what we do. It's ill-prepared. It's last minute. We don't stand a chance of overpowering Frieza's attack. We have to get out of here. We have to get as many Saiyans out of here as possible. And well, Bardock is more or less trying to scoff this of Raditz's cowardice all of a sudden. You may have psychic powers, but you haven't really changed that much, have you? Father, I am serious. Even if we all transform into our grade 8 forms, there's no guarantee this is gonna work. You're talking about some of us who can't control our grade 8 forms, like myself, who are just gonna go on a blind-setting rampage. There's no guarantee this is gonna work. I say we play it safe and get everyone out of here. And well, all the other Saiyans among him are more or less agreeing with Raditz as well. It's, yeah, you know, they don't want to die from Frieza, and you know, if they can, get as many of them off-world as much as they can, they could at least live to fight another day. With that freedom of becoming free of Frieza sounds good. They could train, get stronger, and then conquer Frieza later. And so Bardock not exactly liking this plan, and well, everyone is agreeing to get off world as quickly as possible. They're all getting into space pods, some of them more or less doubling up, parents carrying their children, taking their children in, and they're just trying to get off world as quickly as possible. And well, they are now detecting that Frieza is indeed in orbit, and well, with this, yeah, Vegeta is trying to scan for members of the royal family. His brother Tarball, the king, Queen Cassava, they are nowhere to be detected on the planet, and they're not anywhere on Frieza's ship. So it's very possible that the royal family has already been taken out, and Tarball already sent away by King Vegeta for being weak. So Prince Tarball may be safe, but it's not looking good for the Saiyan King and Queen. And well, with that, Raditz gets into his own space pod, and well, he sees Vegeta more or less looking worried for his family. Yeah, Vegeta acts like he's all cold and all that, but he still had some sort of feelings towards his family, at least as far as his mother was concerned. He didn't like his father much. And well, with that, Raditz is more or less signaling to Vegeta to come into the space pod, but Vegeta is refusing to leave.
No, you go ahead. I will join you shortly. I just want to make sure my family could still be here somewhere.
And well, Raditz just wishes Vegeta luck. Prince Vegeta the Fourth Luck gets into his space pod, and they fly away. And well, it's okay. Vegeta did have the rendezvous coordinates set. They're more or less heading towards a planet that's that they know is abandoned, that's really on the edge of Frieza's influence of space. No one really goes there, sort of thing. And well, this is when moments later, Frieza does power up his planet destroyer energy attack and sends it hurtling towards planet Vegeta like he does in the original, blowing it up. Some of the Saiyans did not make it off world, but however, a really good portion of them, like nearly 60% of the population, managed to get off planet before the explosion. So Raditz has managed to save his Saiyan race from extinction. And well, Gine and his mother are safe, his father is safe, his entire crew are safe, and they are all more or less rendezvousing on this planet that's just outside of Frieza's influence, like I said. And well, Raditz is more or less worried that, did Vegeta manage to get off world on time? And I think, and well, since then, the 70% of Saiyans that got away, about 50% of them managed to find refuge on this planet, with Raditz, Nappa, and Bardock and his crew included. And well, the other 20% are pretty much scattered across the galaxy somewhere. Hopefully staying out of sight and out of trouble. And yeah. After all, their plan of revenge against Frieza goes south if Saiyans get detected. But yeah, I wouldn't believe that all 70% would end up on the Run planet. I reckon some of them would end up on other worlds. Perhaps places that individual Saiyan picked out as a escape plan if anything like that happened. Who knows? Anyway, so with that, we are now continuing the story. And well, quite a few months have gone by, and well, more or less, the surviving Saiyans under Raditz and Bardock's command at this point have begun sort of creating a new society. It's more or less like their old society before that technology at this point. Their technology is very limited at the moment. They have their space pods, of course, and a few Scouters, some Saiyans who happened to have Scouters at the time when they left planet Vegeta. That's about it. And well, luckily the planet has quite a bit of wildlife and, you know, plants and things like that, so they can at least eat and survive. And well, like I said, they have started to build somewhat of a society, and Bardock has begun whipping these other Saiyans into shape, because a lot of them are lower class, middle class, basically the Saiyans who have gone soft through all this luxurious living that they had on planet Vegeta. The Saiyans who were more or less sure of themselves. And well, these weren't the Saiyans to be proud of. They weren't the warriors that they're to be proud of, you know, like their ancestors. So Bardock took it upon himself, and his crew of course, to train up the lower class Saiyans. And well, Nappa would also chime in from time to time if he wasn't, you know, planting vegetations and things like that, so the Saiyans could continue to thrive. And well, one day another space pod had arrived, and well, this was Prince Vegeta. And he's comes out of his space while he's all disturbed. They're dead. My whole family is dead. I couldn't find them anywhere. I only just managed to get off the planet alive. And well, Raditz, more or less welcoming him, and well, Vegeta's looking, did you manage to get your family off world? And well, Vegeta should have already known that. Raditz did get Gine and Kakarot off world, as well as Bardock, and I guess Vegeta is suffering a little PTSD at the moment. I mean, his family has just been wiped out. Vegeta not really sure what to do, except that he has plans to avenge his family. He wants to kill Frieza for what he has done to his family and to his people. And well, Raditz and Bardock are of course thinking the same thing. After all, that's why they're training their warriors up, and luckily their planet is right on the far out reaches of Frieza's influence. So it's highly unlikely they'll be detected by the Frieza force. So they do have time, they can train. However, if and when they venture out, they gotta try keep it to a minimum so Frieza doesn't detect anyone. Raditz does train as well with his father, and he has increased his power quite significantly over the years. Years go by and he's now hit adulthood. He hasn't had any visions for quite a while, except now that he's older and stronger than what he is in the original, by about a couple of thousand. Remember, they don't have access to Frieza's technology to get themselves stronger, not to mention under Frieza's rule, they weren't really allowed to train. When Saiyans got stronger, it was because they went on conquest and battled the locals and got stronger essentially that way. The only Saiyan that really got training during that time was really Prince Vegeta, you know, battling Cybermen and increasing his power that way. That's how things worked in the Frieza Force, more or less. So the Saiyans were getting stronger, but not as much as what you may think, because the planet they're on didn't have quite a stronger gravity like planet Vegeta did. Planet Vegeta was about 10 times, if not a bit stronger than what Earth had, 10 times stronger than Earth. This planet was more or less the same as Earth's gravity, so they weren't increasing their power overall that much. Sparring sessions would with each other would get the most benefit, but solo training and everything like that would not have the benefit that it did on planet Vegeta. And well, over the years, Raditz is now fully grown, and now he is suddenly having visions again. And he's having visions of himself reunited with Kakarot and Gine, and actually asking them for help. And so, he's also having visions on how strong the actual Earthlings are, their abilities to raise their power level and sense energy, and all that. And this, Raditz feels, would become very useful to them. If they could learn this trait themselves, they could slip by in a Frieza space unnoticed. They'd be able to go for supply runs. Hell, when the time comes that they're ready to unleash their counterattack upon Lord Frieza, they'd be able to slip in unnoticed. They could be literally breathing down Frieza's neck. And so, with that, Raditz tells his father his plan, that he wants to get on a space pod and seek out Kakarot and his mother Gine, who are on planet Earth, who are on planet Earth, and Bardock more or less agrees with this. And Raditz was able to determine that this was planet Earth thanks to the vision. And even hearing himself in the vision calling this planet Earth. So the good thing is Raditz is not going to get lost. And well, after all, Bardock knows the coordinates to Earth, so it's no problem. And so with that, and with Prince Vegeta's permission, I mean, he is still the prince, so you more or less gotta respect the rank, Vegeta does allow Raditz to go. But Vegeta's sort of more or less figured, finally got rid of the weakest Saiyan out of the way. Now we can do things my way. That's more or less what Vegeta is thinking anyway. And, well, also thinking, well, if Raditz somehow gets detected by Frieza and gets killed, it's not going to be any major loss to Vegeta. And well, if Raditz actually does manage to come back with Kakarot and Gine, well, that's 2 more soldiers for the counter-attack. So, in a way, yeah, you do kind of got Vegeta who's sort of working his own ideals, which is more or less against what Bardock and Raditz have planned. After all, Vegeta doesn't get the whole, we've got to be smart about this. Vegeta pretty much wants to attack Frieza. Now, his feelings and emotions of losing his family are getting in the way big time. And, well, Raditz does manage to find his way to Earth. And, sorry about that, guys. Yeah. A bird went to swoop at me just then. So, anyways, where was I? Okay, so Kakarot is, Raditz is reunited with Kakarot and Gine, who are having their reunion on Master Roshi's island. Pretty much Raditz arriving when he does in Dragon Ball Z, just like in the original, except his motives are very different than when he arrives in the original. He's not there to recruit Goku into the Frieza Force and into Vegeta's service. He's there, quite literally, to ask for help. And, he's, just really happy to see his mother again, and, seeing Kakarot again. And Raditz is all apologetic to his mother. Some of the times that even he would badmouth his mother for being so weak. He's just very apologetic, and he's just happy that they are alive, and he's even more happy that Gine and Raditz are more or less on par with his power level. They've more or less been able to train together over the years, and more or less he's seeing all these other warriors who are more or less not too far behind they are. And, there's even little Gohan here who's a half Saiyan hybrid. You know what this means, Kakarot? You found a race that's
capable of rebuilding our own race and civilization perfectly.
You know, the Saiyan race is definitely gonna survive now, no matter what. And well, Raditz is just happy that he was actually right about all this. And, you know, Gine is unsure about really wanting to cross hairs with Frieza, but however, her duty as a Saiyan does say that yes, she has to. And Bulma more or less pipes up, how did you get here? Ah, well, I took my Saiyan part, of course. And well, he calls it over to him, he's like, yeah, you're not gonna fit all of us on that ship. Oh, well, I guess you're right there. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to the bigger ships and use those in the evacuations. Frieza would have spotted us. And well, Bulma more or less examining the ship and examining the engine and goes, you know what? We could actually just take this engine from this ship and put it in one of the larger scale ships that my father and I have actually been working on. We could actually get all of us off-world to assist you, and we could even add a gravity chamber so you guys could train. After all, Raditz did fill them in about Saiyans and how they work and how their training and all that works. And Raditz is very impressed with Bulma. Really? You Earthlings are that far along in technology? Ha! Huh. Well, whoever Frieza sent here to do the information dump on this planet really needs a talking to. I'd hate to be that guy right now. And well, in the space of a couple of months, after all, they have a bit more time to work on the ship. Bulma and Dr. Briefs do indeed build the ship, and well, it's more or less even better than the original. It more or less looks the same, but it has a little bit more in there, including some proper living quarters. So I guess in a way it's bigger than the original ship. After all, you got to house, you know, the entire Dragon team, so it's actually got some quarters. It's got the grav chamber, of course, the operation system, and yes, even Dr. Briefs' cappuccino machine. All present and accounted for. And within the space of the couple of months, Raditz has been training with the entire Dragon team and trying to get them up to speed. And well, Raditz is having difficulty battling with the Earthlings, just due to the fact that he has trouble sensing energy and can't raise his power level like they do, and this does catch him by surprise quite a bit, and he actually does get beaten in one-on-one matches with some of the Earthlings like Tenshin Han, Piccolo, and yes, Piccolo has more or less joined this them. He has joined them here because, well, Piccolo hearing about Raditz and him filling them all in about Lord Frieza and everything, yes, this definitely threatens Piccolo's own plans here. So Piccolo has more or less decided to join them as well. And well, Piccolo's nature has more or less changed somewhat. He's not really interested in conquering the planet so much. And well, with that, it is finally time for Raditz to depart world, and the Dragon team's going there with him, and so is little Gohan. They have managed to convince Chi-Chi to let him train. He'd be an invaluable asset, especially when his first training session with Raditz ended up with Raditz getting injured. Yeah, Gohan got scared and his emotions got the better of him, and he headbutted him like he did in the original, and that sent Raditz reeling. Even though Raditz was a bit stronger than what he is in the original, it still packed the wall up and damaged him quite a bit, enough that he got a bit of a Zenkai from it. And well, Chi-Chi, of course, insisting to Raditz that you make sure Gohan does his studying. Of course, he will do a lot of studying, I promise you that. And well, she throws a dino cap in the ship, and it's just loaded with books. Oh, you mean that studying? With that, they all depart, and they do use the grav chamber to get themselves stronger. Everyone, including Goku, struggling with moving in the chamber. Gine, more or less, also struggling. But DB Rai, why would she be struggling? She was born and raised on planet Vegeta. Wouldn't she be used to it? You'd think, but she has spent 20 years away from that planet. You could say that some of her strength from that time has begun to deteriorate. After all, she did train a bit, but not overly as much. So her conditioning to lasting in stronger gravity is more or less been affected. So she's struggling quite a bit too. And Raditz is just loving this. He is loving being the top dog here. For once. Ha! You guys are weak and a complete disgrace. I've got my work cut out for me. And well, over time, they are getting used to it and are getting used to the how the gravity works, and they are more or less able to train, and the likes of Goku, Gohan, and Gine are catching up to Raditz pretty quickly. The others are still a bit slower, but they are able to gradually increase the chamber bit by bit. And this went on for about 2 weeks of space travel. After all, with the engines on this ship, the ship is quite significantly faster than the original, and thanks to Raditz, who's also learned how to lower and raise his power level, they do run into a Frieza Force patrol who are out looking, I know, probably out looking for worlds or just patrolling the galaxy. Well, they're able to lower their power level to the point where the Space Patrol think they're, it's just a family coming home from their space vacation or something. So they leave this enormous Capsule Corp ship alone, and thanks to that, they're able to slip by until finally they do arrive on the planet where the Saiyans have been hiding and making their refuge. And well, everyone is surprised to see not only Raditz with Kakarot and Gine, but all these other new arrivals as well. Vegeta is more or less loathing this somewhat. Asking for help? It's a complete disgrace to the Saiyan race. We ought to just go down there and wring Frieza's neck right now. Mind you, they're nowhere near as strong to more or less do that. And well, with that, Kakarot sees his father for the first time and just embraces him in a hug. Very un-Saiyan-like behavior, but however, it does, yeah. Bardock not really hugging back, but he is very happy to see that his son survived all these years, and Gine as well, and they are surprised with how strong they've become. Raditz included. They're all more or less about on par with the Prince, with that time in the grav chamber. Now, remember, their time in the grav chamber, they did have longer, but because of the Earthlings training as well, they couldn't exactly turn it up full ball to 100 times gravity because, well, they'd all get splattered. So, if you're expecting Goku and Raditz to show up and be like as strong as Goku is when he arrives on planet Namek in the original, well, no. But they do have time on their side to train, and well, thanks to this, and Bulma piping up that they got a grav chamber on board, Vegeta can't help but be impressed by this. Well, that's not bad, Bulma. And well, mind you, the Saiyans do make pretty good use of it. They use it like it's a gymnasium, and they are getting a lot more stronger as time is more or less going by here, and it's getting to the point where Bardock and Raditz are feeling that maybe it is now percent of them actually found refuge on the same planet. And well, with that, Vegeta joined them later after he couldn't find any traces of his family whatsoever. Him even assuming that his brother Tarbell is dead at this point. Now, of course, he is not. Thank you, Matthew, for pointing it out. But I was trying to actually be sneaky with that. I did want to surprise everyone with that later. But yeah, Tarbell isn't dead. As we all know, he was sent away by King Vegeta years ago for being too weak to planet Tech. And, well, Vegeta just sort of forgot that fact while the crisis was going on around him. You know, planet about to be blown up, mother and dad not responding. So yeah, and this did cause Vegeta to suffer a little PTSD. And you know, it is a lot, you know. Unlike the original Vegeta, this Vegeta witnessed the horror of his planet being blown up. It would do things to him. After all, he is pretty much wanting to go out on an all-out assault against Frieza. However, this is where things began to differ again, as Raditz had a vision of him reunited with his brother and mother, and seeing the potential that the Earthling warriors have. And this led to him going on a little field trip and more or less asking for their help. And now that they have joined the team and managed to grow stronger, training in the grav chamber on Bulma's ship that Bulma and her father worked so hard to build, even adding quarters this time, so it's a pretty big ship. Sleeping quarters for everybody. Comfort, and you got the grav chamber gymnasium in the main hall. And so, with that, we've now more or less caught up to the story, and with Kakarot and Guinea being reunited with Bardock, and Guinea is very happy to see her husband again, and is very relieved that he got off the planet as well, that their whole family has been brought back together, and Vegeta, he can appreciate this, even appreciate the fact that Raditz at least got his family back. And of course Vegeta's not really showing it, he's acting as hard and tough as he always does. And well, with that, the Saiyans are now training and becoming quite a bit stronger. The more stronger of the bunch using the grav chamber, getting even stronger, so like Bardock and his crew, the Saiyan Prince, the Dragon Team, Goku, are more or less taking turns in the grav chamber, and the rest of the Saiyans are just being trained up as best they can. And pretty much have left it to the likes of Guinea and Master Roshi and other senior members, I guess, of the Dragon Team to teach the Saiyans how to hide their power level and sense energy. That way they don't have to use those ridiculous things on their heads anymore. Just strictly use them for communication purposes. And of course, this would mean they could literally be breathing down Frieza's neck. And well, one day, Raditz suddenly gets hit with another vision, and this time it's not about any of the Saiyans who are currently there. It is a vision of another Saiyan. It is about Vegeta's little brother Tarbell, who is alive on another planet. And well, he sees Tarbell being surrounded by members of the Frieza Force, including Kato and, is it Ado, the other guy? I am bad with names for Dragon Ball specials. I haven't seen very much, but you know what I'm talking about, the bad guys from the Tarbell special. Yeah, those guys and a small member of the Frieza Force. And as we know, Kado and his buddy, they're more or less on par with the Ginyu Force. And, well, Raditz leaves his sleeping chambers and tells Prince Vegeta of the news already that his brother, Prince Tarbell, is alive and that he's on planet Tech. Raditz more or less was able to recognize it from the description that he has heard over the years. After all, Vegeta did more or less tell Nappa and Raditz about that fact. It's just during the whole chaos of Planet Vegeta and all that, he just sort of more or less forgot that fact. Oh, that's right. I forgot my brother was actually sent off world years ago. I can't believe I forgot that. Looks like I'm the disgrace to the Saiyans. And well, with that, Vegeta is getting in his spaceport. What? Prince, where are you going? What do you think I'm doing? I gotta rescue my brother. Typical Tarbell needing me to bail him out again. And, Raditz just thinking this is absolutely crazy. They can't afford to lose Prince Vegeta. You out of your mind? Those guys are on par with the Ginyu Force. You won't survive, and you may reveal our intentions. Much like how you took the risk bringing your own family here, don't you dare lecture me on that, Raditz. Alright, fine, go. But allow me and Kakarot to go with you. Huh? What? We're going somewhere? Yes, Kakarot, weren't you paying attention? But now's looking for something to eat. But, however, an opportunity for Goku to fight strong guys, he's not going to pass that up. And so, with that, the small team of Vegeta, Raditz, and Kakarot are on their way to Planet Tech, just hoping they get there before Raditz's premonition comes into fruition. And, well, yes, meanwhile, Frieza is more or less just, ruling about the universe, and he has managed to, capture a couple of the straggling Saiyans, and, well, more or less doing away with them, and trying to get information on how they knew about Frieza's attack, and how they were able to get away. And, well, the Saiyans are more or less not talking about this. They're not giving Frieza anything. You destroyed our race, destroyed our families. Why would we tell you anything, Frieza? And after everything we've done for you. Oh my, the monkeys are biting back. Well, unfortunately, your usefulness had come to an end. And he's, basically just killing the stragglers who refuse to talk. And, well, this is where Frieza more or less recalls that King Vegeta sent his youngest son off-world some years ago. As I recall, Tarbell was pretty weak, but still, better get rid of all the Saiyans. We can't have this coming back to bite me. And, well, just like in the vision, he does send his men after him, including the two from the original Tarbell special. And, well, with that, they are on their way. And, the meantime, Gine has more or less continued training, but she has since more or less gone back into her old life on planet Vegeta, being the, Saiyan cook of the group. She does like cooking more than she likes training and fighting, but at least she is strong enough to more or less be a part of that now, especially with training sessions with Fasha, who they are more or less on equal power at the moment. And Gine is enjoying, beating Fasha from time to time, especially for that little incident where Fasha, may have once sabotaged her space pod back when they were a team and Gine was more or less a liability to the group. So, yeah, and well, yeah, and more or less, Farsha is also more or less impressed with how Krillin, does things. He's actually quite formidable, and he's actually managed to defeat some of the stronger Saiyans in battle. Just, well, you can thank the Grav Chamber for it, but also just his knowledge on fighting, his martial arts skills, and just to the fact that he's more adept to sensing energy and raising his power level and all those little tricks that the Saiyans are still more or less still grasping a handle on. And well, with Farsha doing training sessions with Krillin, and her actually pretty much being the only Saiyan there who is matching Krillin at the moment, well, with the exception of maybe Bardock, they more or less, yeah, begin to form a bit of a relationship. And Farsha just sort of finds Krillin adorable with, how short he is. He's just adorable in her eyes. And well, Bardock is sort of more or less having training sessions with Gohan. He is more or less wondering what has happened with Raditz and Kakarot, and well, Nappa more or less piping up. They went to go rescue Prince Tarbell. Raditz had a premonition that Prince Tarbell was in danger. And well, Vegeta, who hasn't really taken his parents' death too well, he jumped at the opportunity. And Raditz and Kakarot would not let him go alone. I see. They're taking an awful risk. This could reveal our intention to Frieza. They don't know we're alive. And well, more or less, later on, Kakarot, Vegeta and Raditz do land on planet Tech, and, well, they more or less get there. They actually arrive before the Frieza Force show up, and they actually manage to find Prince Tarbell and his wife. Yes, during this time, Tarbell was still able to fall in love, get married, and he had raised his power level a little bit since leaving, but he's still pretty weak in comparison. Especially not as much as the original King would have liked anyway. King Vegeta would have liked. And well, Tarbell's like, huh? Big brother, what are you doing here? Tarbell, your life's in danger. Frieza knows you're here. It's just a matter of time before he sends his henchmen to hunt you down. What? Frieza? Hunting us down? What are you talking about? Well, you've missed out on a lot since you've left. And well, Vegeta has Raditz explain and fill Prince Tarbell in on what's going on, and that his mother and father have been killed, either wiped out with the planet or Frieza himself killed them. They're unsure which is which, but either way, their home planet Vegeta is gone, and more or less, for sure, 50% of the Saiyans are still alive. As far as they are aware of. Whoever's on the planet they know are alive for sure. They don't know what's happened to the other 20%. Hopefully some of them have not been captured yet, but those who have are being tortured and ultimately killed by Frieza under his ruthless interrogation skills. And well, he's always sending Zarbon and crews out to try find out any more Saiyans. However, they're not having much luck with the main 50% of the Saiyans that have survived have learned to hide their power levels and know to hide them if they detect any Frieza Force power levels in the area. And well, this does come to a shock to Prince Tarbell. Even though there's no really love lost between him and his father, after all he sent him away, he did love his mother very much. Queen Cassava, she was always a bit more caring towards her boys, and, Not quite like what Guinea was. She was still pretty much a ruthless queen, but she never wanted Tarball to be sent away, and did try to argue with her husband on that front. It just more or less didn't work out, and well, they do convince Tarball that, well, they've got to get on there. They've got to get on board find their Saiyan space pods and get out of Dodge. However, it's more or less too late for that because, well, Kato, his buddy, and his men more or less show up, and well, Raditz, Vegeta, and Tarball are forced into battle, and they are more or less too much for oh yeah, and don't forget, yeah, Kakarot's there as well. So 4 Saiyans against them. It's actually a pretty even fight. Because like I said, Kato and his buddy are more or less on the same level as the Ginyu Force, especially when they combine together and do their ultimate attacks. They actually turn out to be pretty formidable. And well, luckily they haven't trained to the level they are in the original Tarball special, because they did become significantly stronger. And well, like I said, it's a pretty even battle. The rest of the Frieza Force soldiers there, who were significantly weaker, are more or less easy play for the 4 Saiyans. And yeah, ultimately they do combine their efforts to deal with the merged Kato, and ultimately in the end do manage to defeat him as well, with a few cuts and bruises. It's just the fact that the 4 Saiyans more or less overwhelm him, and the combined effort of Prince Vegeta, Raditz, and Goku, who have all had training sessions in the Grav Chamber, were enough to overpower the menace, no problem. However, this is where things become more or less a problem, because Zarbon heard the whole thing. And quite possibly, Frieza heard the whole thing as well. Yes, while Zarbon happened to be in patrol, he and his men were more or less in that area of the galaxy, and they more or less heard the whole thing play out on their scouters. After all, Frieza's force members are trained to keep their scouters on, detecting power levels and reporting constantly what's going on, so other members do hear it, and it does eventually get back to Lord Frieza. And well, boy does Zarbon have some news to tell Frieza. He could try and apprehend the Saiyans himself. However, if Kato was defeated, if Kato and his buddy was defeated along with their men, yeah, it wouldn't look good for Zarbon. He's not as strong as they were. So he decided to report back to Lord Frieza instead. And well, meanwhile, Vegeta, Goku, Raditz, Tarball and his wife do leave the planet, and they actually just managed to duck under Zarbon's patrol's group, who had just, left the city, left that side of the galaxy in light speed. So that they were lucky. And well, with that, Prince Tarball is rescued along with his wife and brought back into the fold as well. And yes, Vegeta needs Tarball to catch up in terms of power pretty much right away, and pretty much lets Bardock take him under his wing. So yep, this means some pretty good training, and of course, whenever he's not training with Bardock, he's training with Guinea to learn how to suppress his power and sense energy. So his power level does not stand out should any more patrollers go looking by. And well, the battle on Tech has gotten Vegeta thinking a bit differently. That maybe a full frontal assault was not a good idea. And they mainly only won because they weren't expecting Vegeta, Raditz, and Goku to spike up their power levels like they did. That's main reason Kato was more or less caught off guard and ultimately destroyed. So now that Vegeta's actually seen the benefits of this kind of training, he's actually more willing to go along with Bardock and Raditz's plan now, and more or less making sure that the Saiyans are prepared for their final battle with Frieza. And well, Frieza is left riveted, hearing that Prince Vegeta, Raditz, and whoever this Kakarot person is still alive, along with Prince Tarbell, and that they've banded together. And well, after Frieza pretty much looked up, all the records, he has determined that Kakarot is the younger brother of Raditz, and they are the children of Bardock. And well, this has Frieza riveted, because well, there was no news of Bardock ever since word got out that he had destroyed Dodoria. Frieza was more or less hoping that he went back to planet Vegeta and blew up with the planet. And well, if Raditz and Kakarot are alive, then Frieza assumes so are Bardock and Gine, and who knows how many other Saiyans survived this crisis. Frieza is angry, he's furious, his plan to wipe out the Saiyan race has failed. He has failed. Lord Frieza has failed, and he is not liking this one little bit. Damn it! And his power level has risen to the fact that he's pretty much wiped out the ship that he's on, along with all his men that are on board the ship. Luckily, Zarbon reported to Frieza by Scouter, eh? Yes, Zarbon reported to Frieza by Scouter. He just happened to be on his way back to Frieza planet. Give his men a bit of R&R before they try again. They gotta refuel their ship at some point. So lucky Zarbon wasn't on the ship when Frieza had his little tantrum. And well, Frieza now in the middle of space somewhere, he's got to fly himself, literally, to Frieza Planet 79, or whatever it's called. The main planet we see. And well, with Frieza still limited and just can't believe he fails, he does regain his composure. I guess it doesn't matter in the end. Sooner or later, those monkeys will come for me. And when they do, that is when I'll wipe the...
Our story continues. Frieza was angry and managed to blow up his own ship in the process. Lucky Zarbon reported all this to Frieza by Scouter, eh? And well, Frieza, angry, regains his composure. He has himself a brand new plan. Zarbon, do pick me up, will you? I have an idea how we can deal with these monkeys once and for all. And well, with Tarbell eventually being brought up to speed using the grav chamber, Vegeta training him himself, essentially, now has begun the operations at the hands of the Saiyans to start liberating other planets. After all, now that Raditz sees that the Saiyan race has to change, yes, the Saiyans now are in the business of liberating the planets they once took over for Frieza and regaining their allies and making their forces stronger so they can eventually overtake Frieza. And as good of a plan as it is, and it does seem to be working, at least for the time being, what are Frieza and Zarbon up to exactly? Well, Frieza, since being told that the Saiyans have gathered enough power that they're able to kill Avo and Kado, then perhaps there was something to this whole training business that the Saiyans were doing. So Frieza and Zarbon are doing one-on-one training with each other, much like Frieza did with Sorbet's
minion in the Resurrection F arc. But except this time, it is Zarbon. And well, a couple of months training has indeed served the two greatly. Zarbon is now a lot more powerful, and of course, so is the mighty Lord Frieza himself. Has he braked into his golden form yet? Well, that remains to be seen. But for now, Frieza has sent Zarbon in to deal with these monkeys. After getting word of Saiyans liberating planets, it was quite easy to predict where the Saiyans were going to strike next, and have Zarbon waiting for them. Oh, yes, I see. You guys have finally come. What? You knew we were coming? Impossible! Please, you monkeys are a predictable lot. I, Zarbon, will put you at your place once and for all. And while the Saiyans do have quite a formidable force with them, after all, you had 50% of Saiyan survivors, so a lot of them were getting training in the grav chamber, and a lot of them were getting stronger because of that. So, the Planet Liberation Force was quite significantly high. However, now running into Zarbon, who has somehow managed to increase his own power in the meantime, would it be enough to overtake Zarbon? Actually, no. No. As powerful as Zarbon is right now, he's about as strong as what Frieza is originally in the original Namek saga. It's very possible he could take on a Super Saiyan if he had to. And right now, none of them have broken the Super Saiyan barrier. And, well, it's quite a fight, but most of the Saiyans are pretty much being knocked left, right, and center. Bardock and his crew, Kakarot and his allies, you know, exactly the same way. It is not looking particularly good for the Saiyan mob at the moment. And if they don't do something quickly, it could be curtains for the lot of them. And well, this is where something begins to happen in Guinea. What? Guinea? Wait. Guinea's not interested in fighting DB Rai. If you're just going to have her become a Super Saiyan right now, well, I'm just going to turn off this video and not watch. Just, no, can't happen. Well, don't be so sure. Remember, it is within kind-hearted and gentle Saiyans where S cells, the cells required to pull off the Super Saiyan transformation, are at their highest. You know, didn't Bardock and pretty much every other Saiyan on planet Vegeta at the time, you know, they never considered that perhaps this kind-hearted, caring Saiyan was brought to them for a reason. Well, that reason is about to become apparent, as Guinea's watching her loved ones being thrown about left, right, and center. Her, who is still the weakest Saiyan among them by far. She did do a bit of training in the grav chamber, but her just not into battling or any of that. Yeah, you can imagine she didn't get quite as much as as everyone else. But with her kind-hearted nature and that little bit of increase she did do in the grav chamber, Guinea, without getting full of rage as most Saiyans do the first time they pull off the Super Saiyan transformation, this was more out of desperation to save her family. And because of this, Guinea does pull off the Super Saiyan transformation. It is Super Saiyan time for you, Guinea. Her S cells being higher than everyone else, she does indeed pull it off. Zarbon is taken aback by this. What is this? You Saiyans aren't supposed to be capable of transformations like this. And yes, her power level is just about as strong as Zarbon's, if not slightly higher. After all, Zarbon is not... He's more powerful, yes, but not as powerful as Frieza at Frieza's, 100% maximum. And well, with Zarbon firing his big blast that he was going to use to wipe out the entire Saiyan Planet Liberation Force, Gine gets in front of it, shielding her family, and she's just holding it there. What? This isn't possible. You will not harm my family! Gine just knocks the blast up, that it's pretty much left orbit, and pretty much detonates, and doesn't damage the planet at all, nor any nearby moons or anything like that. The planet they're on is, well, relatively spared. This planet the Saiyans are coming to liberate is unharmed, and the civilization are just, grateful for that. And well, Zarbon is about to take quite the beating from the world's strongest mother. And well, everyone just couldn't believe their eyes at what they were seeing. This Saiyan that they made fun of for years for being the weakest, a mere power level of 500 of all things, is taking Zarbon to school. That she has achieved the great power of legend. Oh yes, Gine was enjoying this. Her Saiyan instincts probably getting the better of her from the first time ever. Oh yes. Ha! Look at that, father! I knew you could do it, Gine. It's like I've been saying all along. Saiyan elites? Ha! What foolishness! And well, with a powerful Maiden's Blast, Gine's attack, an attack that she's been known to use throughout the video games Gine's appeared in, Zarbon is taken out. No more. Even transforming into his more ugly, ferocious form, it was not enough for him to survive the power of Super Saiyan Gine. Gine is defeated. And at that moment, Raditz has yet another premonition. This destroyer god, Beerus. I gave you monkeys a chance to shape up and you couldn't do it. Ha! I was right to allow Frieza to eliminate your planet. And well, with Raditz knowing this information, that Beerus the Destroyer is the one truly responsible for this mayhem? Oh yes, he won't be telling Vegeta about this, but he does know that his race truly does need to change for the better, and that Gine is the key to this change. And, well, with some of the Saiyan casualties that Zarbon did manage to kill, it has weakened their strength by half, even with this Super Saiyan transformation that Gine has unlocked. It's not going to make things automatically better for him. They need a plan. And well, this is where Gine looks to Kakarot, and they decide to fill them in about the Dragon Balls. That they could use the Dragon Balls to undo this damage. So don't worry. Don't worry too much, because there is a plan. They could use the Dragon Balls to kill everyone that Frieza has killed since this alliance formed. And that does put Raditz at ease. They're going to need every Saiyan if they're going to suddenly change their ways, rebuild their civilization, and to, stop the oncoming threat that is Beerus. But first things first, they need to deal with Frieza first. And, well, that's not really going to be much of a problem, because Frieza was monitoring that battle with Zarbon, and just with an order from Frieza, his new ship has gone into warp speed, and he's pretty much upon them right now. The Saiyans are damaged a little bit. They are weary. However, the battle between Frieza and the Saiyans promises to be a hefty one. And well, Hine does manage to transform into her Super Saiyan form again, but if you think she is a match for Frieza now, no. Remember, he was training with Zarbon for 2 months. That's how Zarbon got so powerful. Hine was only just able to beat Zarbon. And even with the Saiyans battling together, they're still like the mere playthings for Frieza. Oh my, you monkeys are hardly proving an effort. I can't see how you are able to beat Zarbon though, and you do have my congratulations. However, I know something you don't know. I have a new transformation. And at this point in Frieza's power, he doesn't even need to reveal that at this point. He might do as a last sort of thing of terror, you know, when he's going to blow up the planet, you know, something like that, and all the Saiyans with it. Just, he's holding it off until he's done playing around with these Saiyans. And Frieza is having the time of his life at the moment. Even Hine, her powers vanquishing. And well, Goku suggests that if we hold hands and able to bring their power into Hine, they might still have a chance to beat Frieza. And, well, they inadvertently start the Super Saiyan God ritual. Oh yes! Frieza has now had a bit of enough of playing around with these Saiyans and has indeed powered up into his golden Frieza form. Now, is this as potent as it is in the original Dragon Ball Super? Well, no, not quite. Zarbon was weaker than Sorbet's Ben by far, and it's not like Frieza did much training in this form, so it's not quite as potent as it is in the Resurrection of F arc. Not far behind, but not quite. With this power, I might actually be able to pose a threat to Beerus the Destroyer. Oh well, bye-bye, monkeys! He is preparing a planet destroyer-like attack. However, as he's about to prepare that attack, he suddenly sees what the Son family are up to. And there are definitely enough Saiyans to pull off this Super Saiyan God ritual. Had most of them changed enough to pull off the Saiyan ritual? Because I do admit, guys, and you're probably posing the same question, they've got to be pure Saiyans. Have they really had enough time to change their ways? Well, yes, most of them have pretty much changed their ways since liberating planets and everything like that. Especially after with Raditz and Hine and Kakarot being a good motivator for them. Anyways, but yes, needless to say, Kakarot, Bardock and his crew have indeed changed enough to pull off the ritual. And suddenly, Hine's hair glows red, and suddenly, they can't sense her energy. In fact, for a moment, they thought they just took away all her power. But no. This is what it's like being a deity. You can't sense it. And well, Hine would battle with Frieza. Oh my, does the sweet, lovable Sweetie Pie Saiyan want a little more? Very well, I am happy to oblige, monkey. And well, with a surprising shot from Hine that Frieza doesn't see coming, oh yes, Frieza is reeling in pain with Hine going all at it with Golden Frieza. Now, is Hine strong enough to take down Golden Frieza? Alas, no, because Frieza's level is still stronger than Goku's Super Saiyan God. And it is becoming apparent that Frieza is still playing around somewhat. He is taking it a bit seriously, and after this he's not going to give the Saiyans any more chances. However, there's still enough Saiyans left, Raditz decides to grab everyone by hand and see if they can pull off this god ritual again, because if they don't, they're gonna lose. And well, there's still plenty of Saiyans there to pull this off. You got Borgos Fasha, Shugesh, Tora, Bardock, and Kakarot. Plenty of Saiyans to pull off the ritual yet again. And well, yes, Raditz also achieves the power of a god and joins his mother in the battle. Come on, mother! Let's take this creep down together! And Bardock Gine, just happy at this. Remember, Bardock just as surprised. Gine, who after Kakarot was born didn't want to have much to do with Gine after this, and Raditz, never really given him the time of day, suddenly they too are the strongest ones there. And that it's all because of their nature of all things, that they're essentially kind-hearted Saiyans. Even back when Raditz was conquering worlds with Vegeta, he had known what he was doing was wrong. He didn't like it. And well, the Saiyans just watching on at this spectacle as Gine and Raditz, mother and son together, are battling with the brute. Goku wants to join in on this battling, but he knows he's just way too outmatched. Don't even bother, Goku. At this point, you just get in their way. Aww. And well, it is quite the epic battle. Frieza is able to fight them off somewhat, but with Gine and Raditz just working in perfect unison, their teamwork is outshining the Golden Emperor. And well, Frieza is beginning to huff and puff, and well, we get some unsuspected onlookers looking at this epic battle. It is Beerus and Whis. The sudden power-up of the Super Saiyan God and Golden Frieza was enough to wake up Beerus from his nap. And well, Whis and Beerus are watching this with great interest. Has Beerus found potential warriors that could keep him entertained? And well, with a final combined blast of Raditz's Double Sunday, Gine's Maiden Blast, Golden Frieza is taken out, especially after he was huffing and puffing and his golden form had run out. Much like in the Dragon Ball Super Resurrection F arc, Frieza hadn't spent a lot of time training with this power, and essentially, he's lost it. His body has burnt up too much energy that he's not used to, and he is engulfed by the combined fury of Raditz and Gine's blast that ultimately destroys them. And Beerus, quite impressed by this, and just that the Saiyans were able to do this, and that they were going around liberating planets. So Beerus has ultimately decided, perhaps I'll give these monkeys another chance to shape up. But only one chance. With that, Beerus and Whis basically take their leave, and Beerus basically just deciding he'll just go for a nap. After all, Beerus had planned to kill Frieza after waking up. The Saiyans have done that for him. He can just go back, have a nap. And well, with Frieza gone, and this planet liberated, the cosmos is beginning to regain some semblance of balance. Especially with morality in the Frieza Force now dropped now that their Emperor is gone. And I think with at the very least, peace being restored, and the Saiyans, you know, going back to that little home world, their new home world, that they have managed to acquire during this aftermath, rebuilding their society, the one they rebuilt their society on, and Kakarot essentially finally going back home now that the big battle is done, I think that's where we'll leave things for right now. Don't worry, there's going to be a part 5 to this. Don't worry, I'm not ending the story here and there. There's so much more we can do with this. And well, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more what ifs and more content. And I will see you guys again next week. Catch you later. Next week. I should say tomorrow for another what if. Alright, catch you later. So with Frieza now dead and gone, and supposedly the Super Saiyan God power has run out, however, with both Gine and Raditz able to transform into Super Saiyans, and they haven't quite realized that their bodies have learnt from actually having all that Super Saiyan God power. However, they are about to, but first, the war for total freedom against any sort of influence for Frieza is not quite over yet, for Bardock right now is planning an assault to pretty much rid the galaxy of any remnants of the Frieza Force and the Cold Force once and for all. Yes, they are now set, the Saiyans and the Dragon Team have set their sights on King Cold in one final assault. And well, it is a pretty nasty assault. I'm talking Great Ape Saiyans rampaging through King Cold's headquarters, many of his soldiers at his retirement planet falling towards him. Even the Ginyu Force isn't able to stand up to this. And well, essentially, the battle came down between Raditz and King Cold, and despite King Cold transforming into his final form version of himself, much similar to Frieza's but taller, he's essentially just beaten easily, and that was pretty much that. They had rid the universe of the influence of the Cold Force. Needless to say, I'm sure somewhere the Galactic Patrol is celebrating, and well, peaceful times have somewhat returned, and with help of the Dragon Balls, they're able to wish for a new planet Vegeta for the Saiyan race, so they could return home and truly start again. Goku, Kakarot, and Gine have been somewhat offered a position on new planet Vegeta, but Kakarot and Gine, along with Raditz and Bardock, as well as Bardock's crew, have chosen to basically remain on Earth. But Bardock and his family, they are done with that part of their life. They've rescued their race. The Saiyan race is now changed under the new King Vegeta's leadership, who is no longer interested in conquering planets. He's more or less more interested in basically being paid to protect them, much like the Saiyans of I believe it's Universe 6. That's right, isn't it? Champa's universe, where Cabba's from. It's Universe 6, isn't it? Yeah, so the Saiyans have pretty much evolved to that point, which is good news for them because Beerus is now going to leave them alone. However, Beerus is not fully done with the Saiyans yet because he was very impressed with the power Raditz and Gine displayed, especially when they were in their god forms. And so one day, well, there were some peaceful times, and we had Kakarot and Raditz basically starting the farmer business like we get in Dragon Ball Super. But this is still earlier in the timeline. But by rights, if we were going off the original story, the Saiyan saga hadn't even happened yet. So, we've got Raditz and Kakarot running a farming business, and you got Gohan helping as well, and Gine has actually, thanks to a bit of help with Bulma, has opened up her own restaurant called Gine's, the Otherworldly Experience. So Earths are getting a chance to dine on basically how a Saiyan prepares a meal, and needless to say, it is indeed taking off. Just how Gine does it, it's just a real treat for the Earthlings. And well, as for Bardock, he spent most of his time traveling the world and training by his lonesome. But of course, he would drop by his family every now and again. After all, Bardock is your typical Saiyan. Family time, waste of time. So much more to this world to see yet. And but you know, that's typical Bardock behavior. And well, one day, Whis and Beerus had decided to make an appearance, and Beerus just basically straight out points to Raditz and Gine, who were basically, they were all in the middle of a Mount Palzu family picnic. You two, Saiyans! I wish to fight you. Do you dare refuse Beerus the Destroyer? And, Raditz had heard the name Beerus before from, when, Prince Vegeta told the story of what happened to his father one time, that some purple cat named Beerus brought him and his dad to his knees once. And, and yes, even Bardock has even heard of, Beerus. Beerus? You're kidding me, right? Thought you were just a legend. How do we know you're the real deal? Do you care to try me yourself, Saiyan? And essentially, Bardock does charge him, and pretty much he's, beaten to the ground relatively quickly. In a way, hilariously. And more or less, Bardock's fine. Beerus hasn't killed him, luckily for him. Because Beerus did consider that for a second or two. And well, this definitely got Gine and Raditz into a fighting mood, who are now more than happy to oblige the cat god. And they power up to Super Saiyans and pretty much begin fighting with Beerus. Now, this is a normal Super Saiyan transformation, but because they have experienced Super Saiyan God, they do maintain that energy and power. It's amazing, even though you're not deities anymore, you're still able to produce just as much power. In other words, your bodies have learned from the experience. Oh, this is gonna be a real treat. Don't disappoint me now, because I will blow up the planet. And essentially, the battle goes on for a while, and Kakarot's wanting to jump in and fight as well, but at this point in his development, he's no way going to be able to match Beerus. He'd just be getting in the way and probably get himself killed. And so he's just going to have to spectate for now, while this incredible, intense battle is unfolding before him. And with the teamwork of Raditz and Gine, with especially with these team attacks, it does seem they are landing some decent blows on Beerus. However, Beerus is still holding back, and he is being forced to use more energy than what he used with Goku in the original timeline in their battle in Dragon Ball Super. Because, you know, he's fighting two of them, not one of them. But essentially, Beerus is still too strong for the two of them, and in the end, Beerus does end up defeating the two, and he's preparing a big charge ball ready to destroy the planet supposedly. But then his stomach growls, and luckily, when Saiyans go out to eat, they always pack more than enough. And so, Beerus and Whis, Beerus basically demanded to be part of the picnic, and made a little deal that if the food was good, he won't destroy them. And rest assure you, it was really good. We had a nice mix of earth delicacies along with Guinea's amazing cooking. It's just, wow, Whis, this is the best food we've ever tasted. Yeah, not bad there, Earthlings, not bad, Saiyans. I guess this dust ball of a planet is worth keeping around. I must insist you prepare more the next time. An entire feast prepared in my honor. And Guinea just sort of laughs and chuckles that, sure, no problem, Lord Beerus. I'm just glad you like my cooking so much. I never said that. Cat sort of blushing a little bit. And, well, pretty much, Whis waves his goodbyes, and then they pretty much head off. And, well, we time skip to a few months later, where Beerus and Whis do indeed make another return, and they are indeed stuffing their face to a huge feast that Guinea and a team of chefs she hired from a restaurant in Beerus's honor. But they weren't only just feasting for Beerus, there was another celebration. Guinea is pregnant with a third Saiyan child. And that is where this story concludes. So what do you guys think? Did you enjoy this part of the story? Did you enjoy the series altogether? And also, did you like the ending? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.